Let me do the intro. I'm going to do the intro right now, all right?
All right, Curt, let's go.
Welcome to the Premier Rare Coin Podcast. My name is Curt Gammer. I'm joined by Isaac from Palm Beach, Jeffrey Behan from Palm Beach, and Charles from Las Vegas. As always, I'm Curt from Washington, D.C. We're joined by 3 real coin dealers from across the country and 1 lovely numismatist in training. Folks, this is the Curt Gammer Premier Rare Coin Podcast. I'm filming in the business center of the International Barclay Hotel, and the New York International Show is going on. It's the largest world coin convention in the United States. So naturally, for a guy like me, this is my Super Bowl. I got my suit on, tie on. I can't remember the name of the sign that I want to say.
Where's the drip at?
Fit check.
Let me see it. The fit check.
what?
Let's go.
Fit check.
Yo.
There we go.
Hey.
That's all you're getting on this channel, at least. All right. So, as always, let's go. Yes, that guy. Okay. Come on, pull it up.
Every single week, I bring a different numismatic piece from my co-host to guess that guy. Anyway, Kurt's getting antsy. Kurt's stressing over here. We're looking at an 1848 10-cent, nice little Seed of Liberty, out of a mintage of 450,000. Believe that in all grades only 400 exist. In 65 or better, there's 5. We're looking at an MS65. Nice little coin. We're going to start with Jeff.
All right, let's see this here. I got to expand this a little bit. If you can see up my nose, I'm sorry. All right, what are we working here? So there's one higher in NGC, and it's an 1848 seeded dime. This is a hard one. How did you already say, like, how much further is the higher grade?
It's a 66. So 66 is the highest grade.
I really don't know on these. I really have no clue. I'm gonna say 9,500.
9,500. All right, Curt, what are your thoughts?
You know, this is a great type coin. I remember the days when people used to talk about people who collected Seeded Liberty type by date. You know, and I could just imagine this coin as the star of someone's, 40s date run. I'm probably going to get kicked out of here pretty soon, so I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to stay after this. But I'm going to go ahead and say $5,000, just because there are higher examples. There's that NGC, 1 higher, 5 plus 1 higher. I don't know, 5,000 sounds about right, especially for that coin. I'd pay about $5,000 for it, so that's my guess.
Curt would pay 5. Charles, what would you pay on this?
Very nice.
So this is an MS, not a print, right?
Right, it's a mint state.
Mint state, and it's not top pop.
Nope.
You're looking at how many grades higher are there? There's 2 grades higher.
It's just 1 grade higher in a 66.
Just 1 grade higher in a 66. Okay. And this is a 65 then? 65. Okay. I'm gonna go 10,000 on this one.
Going 10,000.
Just taking a stab.
All right. Charles guessed 10,000. Curt guessed 5. Jeff guessed 95. Leave your guesses in the comments down below. We will reveal the winner at the end of the episode, and you can see if you got it right. Anyway, let's get into the docket here. Silver hit $92 today. We're at $46.11 for gold. This is just unbelievable. It's just kind of wild. But here's our silver.
Do you have the email that they sent out?
I do have the email that they sent out.
Because that's pretty crazy. You know, if you're not registered for the U.S. Mint, you probably didn't get this email. But it's pretty wild.
There we go. Here's the email here.
Dear valued customer, to maintain transparency and a positive customer experience, we are reaching out to share an important update. Due to metals cost, pricing adjustments are being evaluated across all numismatic products. In addition, rapidly rising silver prices may result in silver numismatic products being temporarily removed from sale while pricing is updated. We are working expeditiously to update pricing in order to maintain product availability. However, we wanted to communicate in advance in case you notice changes on the US Mint website. Once pricing has been updated, we will notify you. For the most current product information and pricing, please visit our product schedule at usmint.gov.
Jeff, I feel like you maybe have the most opinions about this. How are you feeling now that kind of what you said last week is being approved?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty validating. You know, I hate guessing on stuff. I sell rare coins, so I don't have to really guess on stuff like this. You know, a rare coin kind of keeps its price. It's pretty stable. You don't really worry about the markets. So I'm kind of, out of my element for the most part. But when it comes to, buying U.S. Mint silver coins, I've been screaming it from the top of the roof. Get your privy coins, get your proof coins, get every coin you have. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but I mean, without gatekeeping, Isaac, we were just at the fun show. What was the number one coin that I was trying to buy from everyone at $100?
Proof 70 Silver Eagles.
Exactly, because I was like, you know what? Like at this price, the U.S. Mint can't handle this. And last episode, I told you how the U.S. Mint pushed the proof back another month, right? And it's all starting to unfold. I think generally, the U.S. Mint sets the market on what is the most basic coin, and what they're going to sell it for, and the rest of the markets kind of make pretty coins and sell them for a little bit more. Like the Canadian Mint makes the elegant maple leaf, the incuse, the high release. The wedge tail, or the Australian Mint makes kookaburras and 5 ounces. I was just talking about it the other day. When you look at like a CIT Liechtenstein high-end kilo coin, last year and the year prior, silver was $800-900 a kilo, and that coin was a $2,400 to $2,600 premium price, to $3,000 as a coin. You recorrect for this year, they won't be able to make the coin at that price. So I don't think the world is caught up yet to the correction of what's about to come. And I think it's going to be a massive tsunami, because historically the U.S. Mint has always sold proof coins at 2 to 2.5 times melt, which would mean that would be almost a $300 coin today, which is absurd. So
yeah,
it's just
Curt,
crazy.
What are your thoughts here?
Suffering from some serious communication issues, some technical difficulties on the road, not on hotel Wi-Fi yet. So, Jeff's 1,000% on point when it comes to market volatility. I mean, it's looking to reduce exposure, and I bet their superiors are watching the sell coins for $50 one month, and then rise in value by 50% the next month after. So, and also they're shielding themselves from the risk of overcharging consumers should a massive silver crash happen. Keep in mind that the biggest retail-facing coin dealer on the planet is the Mint, right? So if you have a bunch of people who put our faith and trust into the government to take care of us, which I know there are a lot of people that do that, it would be a bad look for them to pay $90 an ounce only for it to crash and go to a much lower level later on. Try explaining, the commodity rises and falls to grandma and grandpa buying American Silver Eagles for their grandchildren for Christmas. It's a common gift. I got them when I was a grandchild. So if my grandfather had paid $90 for a coin from the United States government, and the next month it was only worth $50, there'd be some hell to pay. So, I think the Mint's making a smart decision here by shielding their exposure to that. And it's a very interesting topic. It's a developing story that we got to keep on top of. But on that note, guys, I love you. And I'll see you next week. Wish me luck at the show. I'm going to take lots of photos for to be added in, so you guys know what an international coin show looks like. So
Yeah,
wish you guys were here with me.
We'll do a little montage now.
Yeah, find me some coins, my man.
We'll try. Bye now.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it sucks that we didn't get to make it out there, but we just got too busy. That 1715 Fleet Society show gave us more than we could ever have asked for. So if you're into shipwrecks, I'm plugging it in now. If you're into shipwrecks, or you like the shipwreck world and treasures, you should definitely go on the 1715fleetsociety.com, sign up to be a society member, and just keep up with the news.
Yeah.
Back to you, Isaac. Sorry.
No, you're all good. I think that's totally fair to mention what we've been up to. The 1715 Fleet Society was very cool. It's like a full archaeological event about shipwrecks with all the experts. And I mean, I filled in probably 30, 40 pages of notes, just learning all week. It was very, very cool. Jeff Garrett was there, Bob Evans. I mean, all the big names you could think of.
What's crazy that like Russ from AU Capital Management and Jeff Garrett, which are two legends in their own field, showed up at a Fleet Society, right? After going to the fun show for an entire week, to give a presentation. So kudos to them. We appreciate it.
Yeah, very cool. Charles, are you a part of any societies or groups or clubs or anything like that?
Yeah, several. Unfortunately, not the Fleet Society, although I probably should. I think they do a great job. I mean, I know Ben Costello, who runs the 17 Fleet Society, and he does such a good job. I mean, he's super passionate about it. He's been passionate about it for years, and what he does with that organization is it's been phenomenal, literally. So I'm glad you guys were able to go down there and check it out. I usually have to leave town by then to catch up on office work, but I would have loved to have been there.
It's crazy. From Sunday to Wednesday, they had all of the leaders, the captains, the divers, everyone you could ever imagine talking to in that industry. They even had the Fisher family there, which was nuts. I mean, it was crazy. Like, one little highlight you'll see in some content coming out later. I wanted to do a meeting with some of the Fishers, and we ended up having a lunch just right down the street at the local Chick-fil-A. And we're just sitting there at the table in the middle of this Chick-fil-A with like $1 million worth of like historical shipwreck jewelry. Like, Taffy, which is Mel Fisher's daughter, was sitting there stirring her milk with the finger bar from the famous Etosha. I was just like, there's no way this is real life right now. I have to be in a VR, like watching a fake life and immersing myself. Like, how is this real? Like, I mean, it was just, it was ore farming at its max. While she's wearing a massive chain or two, right? The grandson Melvin is wearing a chain or two. So, you had Nicole, who is also the daughter, who was just on Beast Games, by the way, just chilling right there. I'm like, this is just like, how is this 2026, right? Like, what a start.
Yeah.
They do a great job. I hope you got an interview with Ben, because his leadership has just been what's really driving us of that. I mean, he's done such a great job, and he's so passionate about the fleet coinage. And
oh yeah, he did an unbelievable job setting up the list of speakers, getting the sponsors out there. I mean, the room was packed. There wasn't we had 3 people behind our booth, and my seat kept getting stolen every time I went to the bathroom. I mean, it was pretty nuts. Which, by the way, if you do watch the Beast Games, look for, I believe, number 72. That's Mel Fisher's granddaughter. So.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I should be a member of the Fleet Society. I just, for whatever reason, never joined.
It's only like what, like $160 or something like that?
I mean, it's very reasonable, but the amount of educational material that, like, how involved you want to be, you can get so much out of it.
It's crazy. I mean, the Queen's Jewels was there. The Exploration, what were they? I'm missing the name, but Sedgwick's was there. Finest Known was there out of California. So, I mean, not only did you have like every major dealer, captain, exploration company show up and sponsor, but then you had a room full of divers, amateur and expert excavation and metal detecting. I mean, we met literally the number 2 metal detector in the United States, number 1 in Florida. Yeah, it's just pretty crazy, the people you meet, you get to hang out with. All around, it was just infinite mind blowing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, like the fact that you could actually do that. Like when the storms come in and they shake up the seas and stuff like that, those guys go out there right afterwards on the beach, just metal detecting, looking for anything that came up the ships.
Yeah, I mean, I may mispronounce his last name. I think it's Chris Kettle. Almost, it kind of rhymes with Skittles. But he has a really popular YouTube channel where you can, if you're into metal detecting, you can see he goes over what metal detector he uses. He's got a pretty large following on social. But I mean, he was literally just in our backyard the other day. He literally skipped out on the Wednesday when one of the witness speakers canceled, and he went to one of the islands out here and was metal detecting and found a whole bunch of rings. I mean, it's truly incredible, right? The type of people that get brought together from the 1715 Society, so it's just, it is, what a world.
No, 100%, man. So you guys wound up doing that, and then you didn't go to New York, huh?
I mean, we would have left at 9 o'clock this morning after working 16-hour days out of the fun show. Like,
it's too crazy.
We literally haven't had a day off since the 1st, and we still haven't had a day off. We literally got home yesterday. And we came back to the office last night, and then we were back here this morning. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I freaking love it.
It'll be crazy this year, but it'll be good. It'll be a lot of good stuff. I really hope so. And then Are you gonna? So then you're gonna do Savannah then now, right?
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing Savannah. We have a premium booth already bought for Savannah for the ANA. We definitely don't miss the fun shows and the ANA shows and then the Whitman shows. Those are the three platforms. We go to all of their shows. We wouldn't miss them unless we had to.
Right. Okay.
So,
So that'd probably be I'll be there too. So hopefully we could all do this again in Savannah like we did in Florida.
Well, speaking of what we did in Florida, you proved me wrong about fun shows being back. I don't know if you have a recap of how crazy your show was, but man, that was literally the busiest coin show I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I told you, don't sleep on shows, man. It's still a physical place where a lot of collectors and dealers and people that are just you could just be a coin enthusiast, all get together and we all share something in common usually. So it's pretty amazing to see. And there's a lot of material there, a lot of people come bring, of course, a lot of bullion. I mean, it's just the nature of what's going on right now. Every time you turn on TV now with the price of gold and everything, you're seeing something about either American Eagle or, some type of silver coin or silver eagle. So just the interest that alone brought in a ton of new people, I think, that are just getting excited about the metals market. But usually what I've seen is there's always crossover. So when the metals get hot, people start also getting into coins and they start dabbling a little bit into collectible coins. So there's always crossover. And that's why I think what's going on now is good for the overall industry. And it's bringing in new people that probably will stay, some of them for sure will stay a lifetime collecting.
Yeah. I mean, when all the premiums come down that high, it's really easy to start, buying other coins. I mean, a year ago, the common Liberty Double Eagles, there was like maybe 15 dates. Now there's, almost 30. I mean, I literally bought a bunch of Double Eagles the other day and I got 3 date in the 50s at common prices. My mind was blown.
That's crazy.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Price will stabilize, eventually. But in terms of metals, there'll be corrections, but we're definitely in a new normal now. Just due to war dollar and our economic policy.
It was hard for me to spend money at the fun show though, not because I didn't want to buy, but because there wasn't a lot of rare coins in my field available, which is really unusual. Usually, I don't know if that was the same for Isaac. I know you were around buying a lot, and Charles, but in the shipwreck world, usually I'll sell out of the stuff I buy in auction, and then later on I'll buy some of the stuff that I passed on, but it's still in the market. And then every once in a while you have a handful of things that just, come up, from estates or, whatever. But there was not one estate piece I could find. There wasn't one coin from a past auction that I've seen that I could find. And the only, Lima Mint 8 Escudo that I could find on the floor was $34,000, which is about $10,000 higher than the last record price in November. So, I mean, there was nothing. I mean, it was crazy to see that, even though gold has skyrocketed as well and silver, but the rare coin market is just vanishing. Like the diamond hands are there.
Yeah. Well, on a Lima like that 8 Escudo, that's probably, I think, the last one we had and we sold in our auction was for right around that price. So I mean, now retail are going in better grades, they're going 35 grand easy.
It's recorrecting quick.
Well, it's just harder to get the better material. I think a lot of collectors have been, the space you're talking about, collectors have kind of came into that space over the last 5 years, I would say, a whole new crop. And then, it's kind of helped boost, and you got legacy guys also collecting at the same time. So it's just pushed up the prices and they're hoarding the pieces. And now it's harder to get better material. I mean, there's a ton of generic shipwreck stuff out there, but stuff that's attributable and historic and nice and in holders is just tougher and tougher. But that's why I think there'll be a lot of good opportunities in our upcoming sale on the 29th, because a lot of that stuff is already selected, it's already in slabs and it's attributed, and you have that, you're gonna have to find little batches of this stuff when they come available in auction, I think, as opposed to just on the floor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a weird world right now. I wonder if there's a level of the people who are buying up these rare coins, they don't want to let go of them. They're kind of hoarding the good rare stuff. Are you guys seeing that? We have a lot of these like the Ellsworth and Jacobson collection, which was selling at the fun show. Like these big legacy collections kind of going out. But I don't know that I see a lot of new stuff coming out, new collections dropping.
Well, there's people have significant collections, and they're not, they're in strong hands, and they're not selling anytime soon. This is happening across the board. I've seen this in the U.S. coinage. It's certainly in the shipwreck stuff. It's really everywhere. There's really nice, great ancient coin collections that are in strong hands right now. The ingots for sure, because the top ingot collectors have significant collections. They're not selling. The issue I think I'm nervous about in the ingot world, on the higher level of ingots, being able to get the pieces that you truly want, even if you have the money, you're not going to be able to. So, and then people get frustrated, they get bored, and then they move on to something else.
Yeah, moving on to something else I can see could definitely be a pain point, especially if like the stuff that you want to collect just isn't purchasable.
Right, it's not obtainable. So what can you do? Then you got to either pick a different design or pick another segment of the coin market, or ingot, go to another collectible, or whatever they decide to do with it. They just lose interest because they can't compete on the higher level.
And speaking of the higher level, I'm using this as an opportunity to do a segue. We'll talk about that Heritage Fund auction. Opened at 7.17 million, which is less than the penny auction. But they had a bunch of early golds from the Elias or the Ellsworth and Jacobson collection. Seems like both of their plate coins, the 1797 half eagle and AU 58 plus, and the 1834 half eagle MS64 plus, apparently both sold for $268,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, early gold. I mean, it's getting tougher and tougher to find nice pieces that haven't been damaged or cleaned, even though there are clean coins and altered coins that are straight graded holders right now, but that's another story. But
this one honestly does look clean.
Yeah, well, in early American coinage, there's all kinds of issues that are now considered market acceptable. But when something truly does stand out, then the money, the premiums on that will go. I mean, the collectors that kind of know, and they'll go after that specific material really hard.
Sure. This collection was sort of a collection of early small gold varieties as well. So they have quite a few different types of strike for these coins, the early 1800s. Very weird, wild time. But like for this example, a fat 5-head eagle definitely looks like a fatter head than what we're used to. Kind of fun to see the differences.
How did the silver type do?
Let's see. Had some large cents. Doesn't say. It doesn't list any silver type in the article here.
There was no silver type in that sale?
It might have. It was just at least in this article, just the early half eagle collection.
Okay, yeah. I didn't watch it, so I don't know what was available and what wasn't. But I'm curious to see how the silver type stuff is going to do this year. Gold is, I already know because of what our experience has been this last year selling better gold coins. And it seems like that trend is continuing post fund show for us. So the better gold, we've been getting really strong numbers in that.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just hoping silver type has been a little bit more mixed. And I'm really curious to see what 2026 brings for the better silver type. Like how much the prices are going to go up or what's going to happen there.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it over the next couple of days, and maybe once this auction is over, they're finishing up on January 17th, so that'll be this weekend. So we should have some updates from the rest of their auctions coming next week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over the winner for Guess That Guy. We were looking at an 1848 10-cent Seed Liberty dime. 5 in NGC at MS65, 4 in BCGS, only one graded higher. Charles guessed 10,000. Curt guessed 5,000. Jeff went high with 95,000.
No, 9,500.
Oh, 9,500?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we corrected that. So, We use PCGS price guide just because it's easy just to grab one for MS65 Sea Liberty Dive. MS65, the price guide is 8,500. That makes Curt the winner for this week. Jeff, you're over by $1,000. Curt guessed 5,000. Let us know if you got it in the comments down below. And I appreciate everybody for watching the Premier Coin Report. We'll be back next week with another update. Go check us out on YouTube. New stuff coming out every single week. Lots of stuff from the fun show coming as well. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next week.